Sally Krawcheck states, networking has been cited as the number one unwritten rule of success in business. Who you know really impacts what you know. Hello, I am Jodel Bernard, and this is my analysis of the Heidi Roizen case. Growing up, my mom always repeated the proverb, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. It was her counsel to my brother and I about the impact of the people we connected with, our networks, on our lives. In the article titled How to Build Your Network, networks deliver three unique advantages: private information, access to diverse skill sets, and power. These were all advantages Heidi enjoyed from her networks throughout her career. In college, before her career started, the death of Roizen's fiance was a crucible experience that reshaped her perspective on relationships. I believe this experience laid the foundation for her powerful networking skills and the network she developed. Roizen was intentional about building her network from the beginning of her career and was able to leverage those networks to get things done at every stage. The network she built at one stage, she was able to leverage to get to the next stage. While she was intentional, she was also authentic. Her genuine interest for getting to know people and her warm, pleasant personality lent to her intentionality. Roizen's network helped launch her career. It was her first experience with networks and it was a success. Here, her network yielded the advantage of private information. Of the 60 plus applicants for the job at Tandem Computer, Roizen got it because a friend gave her the contact information of the hiring manager. At Tandem, Roizen had exposure to the most powerful person in the organization, the CEO, and was intentional about building a relationship with him through her work. The network she built here gave her an advantage in the next stage, graduate school. The CEO of Tandem wrote a recommendation for her to graduate school pursuits at Stanford. Here, Roizen's network strength was credibility. In the co-founding a company stage of her career, Roizen began building relationships and a network with the press, attending conferences and events to meet industry players and get exposure for Teammaker to achieve the operational objectives she had for the company. At this stage in her career, Roizen is a broker in her network, introducing herself to her network contacts, but still manages to build a large, powerful network that helped give Teammaker the exposure to be successful, becoming a multi-million-dollar company. At Apple, Roizen's network, when put to the test, proved to be credible, powerful, and influential. For the first time in 14 years since building her network, she had to reach out to members to rally their support. Their show of support was pivotal in Apple's survival during that period. As a mentor capitalist, Roizen's network was her greatest asset. Here, her business was networking. She was connecting individuals where both sides would benefit and was serving as a matchmaker with skill sets and roles. Her network strengths here were breadth and depth. She had strong connections with numerous power players in the industry. In the SoftBank stage of her career, the dynamics of her network changed because of her venture capitalist role. Here, she was connecting with key contacts in different network clusters, allowing her to broaden her reach and diversifying her network. At this stage, I believe she was brokering less of her networks compared to earlier stages. Cialdini, in the article Harnessing the Science of Persuasion, identified 6 principles, all of which I believe are applicable to Roizen. In the first principle, liking, Roizen hosted numerous social events at her house. These events provided a space for networking, with intentionality around making everyone comfortable. The events had an informal feel, and Roizen only invited people she liked and respected. That authentic, down-to-earth personality made her likable and attracted others to her. Second, the principle of reciprocity, also the basis of Adam Grant's writings on give and take. I would describe Roizen as a productive giver. The role she held in her career with Teammaker, Apple, SoftBank, and as a venture capitalist were all roles she was passionate about helping either the organization or others. This she did productively, and it contributed to her success. When Roizen worked with her brother to create Teammaker the company, she actively networked to help Teammaker be a success. The relationships she formed during that time were also added value later in her career and contributed to her success. Additionally, the case states that in her mentor capitalist role, Rosen was careful to apply the principle of reciprocity, that there had to be balance in every relationship. You can't always be asking, but you can't spend all your time doing goodwill. She knew when it was time to move on, as seen when she left Apple. I especially admire her productive giving abilities during her stint as a venture capitalist. Here, she only connected individuals where there was a benefit for both parties. It had to be a win win situation. Third, the principle of social proof. The strength of this principle and its reach was seen in Rosen's network during her time with Apple. The case mentions that was one of the best ads Apple had during the time when Rosen had just joined and when they were going through a difficult time. And it was the page in the Wall Street Journal that had news clippings from each software CEO proclaiming their affinity for the Mac. These quotes were made possible because Rosen, based on her relationship with each CEO, called each leader to reaffirm them and ask for their continued support. The publicizing of the industry leaders' support helped rally the support of other players in the industry. This scenario also shows the fourth principle, consistency. The leaders' support for the Mac advertised in the Wall Street Journal was a public commitment to Apple, which means they were less likely to go back in their support. Additionally, Rosen believed that consistency and performance were key in maintaining networks. Fifth, the principle of authority. Rosen's career as a mentor capitalist was successful because organizations recognized her as an expert in the industry from her experience in previous roles. As an expert, they are willing to hire her in executive positions and on the board, and had her recruit for senior level positions. Finally, the sixth principle, scarcity. As Rosen explained, the real shortage in Silicon Valley was people and not money. With her expertise from different work experiences and board involvements, coupled with her known network strength, Rosen's package was scarce and thus increasing the demand for her time and qualities, making her a force to be reckoned with. In conclusion, the case describes Rosen as someone with an outgoing personality who had a genuine interest in meeting people. While there weren't any details on her demeanor and physique, I've pictured her as someone with a radiant smile, friendly, approachable, and who others wanted to be around. Her personality and intentionality were valued added in building her network, a network that proved to be powerful, influential, and a contributor to her many successes. Again, thank you for listening. I am Jodel Bernard.